Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Karen Cooper, a housing resource lead from Access. Karen, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Craig.
All right, so let's start with this new news for foreclosure residents. Tell us about this.
There's an independent foreclosure review process that's been made available by the Office of the Comptroller of Currency and the Federal Reserve for homeowners that have experienced wrongful foreclosures and several different processes that may be eligible for restitution as a result. So they are setting up an independent review of these occasions where people have submitted an application that they'll receive in the mail from the Office of the Comptroller of Currency that will be clearly labeled Independent Foreclosure Review. And it's up to the homeowner to complete that package and send it back in. And their chances of success will be about as good as the detail and the effort they put into that to support their case.
Okay, so for people watching at home saying, hey, I was foreclosed upon, how would they know if they qualify?
They should receive a notice in the mail. There were 4.7 million of them sent out nationwide.
Wow.
Beginning in November in different waves. So most people that are going to receive one have received one already. But there is a number that they can call that will take them to the Independent Foreclosure Review panel to have it checked if they believe that they would be part of this and did not receive a notice in the mail or didn't recognize it and threw it away. Some of them may look like junk mail and people may not recognize them. People
get a lot of mail. Okay, so only the people who receive these packets in the mail are eligible, is that right?
They've been identified as a likely candidate to have experienced something wrong, and it could be something wrong in the way of a foreclosure process, a dispute that was filed, maybe someone filed a complaint with the Attorney General because they were in a modification and got foreclosed on anyway. Or maybe they're part of MERS and maybe they're in bankruptcy and a foreclosure took place that shouldn't have. There's a multitude of reasons that could have prompted this, but people are still welcome to check to make sure. The key is that they were in foreclosure, and that doesn't mean completed, just a foreclosure process was in effect between January 1st, 2009 and December 31st, 2010. So that 2-year span is what this applies to.
Wow, okay, and how much will it cost these people to find out?
There's no cost, and if anybody receives anything in the mail saying that there is a cost, that is a scam, because this is a process that's been instituted by the Office of Comptroller of Currency at no cost to the homeowners that have been affected by this.
Okay, all right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with Karen in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Karen Cooper, the housing resource lead from Access. So we're talking about this program. How would a person know that this has happened, and how would they prove it?
They've been identified as there being an issue, so they will hopefully have received the invitation to apply. And then it's up to them. It's critical that they hopefully have a clear, concise documentation trail of what occurred. So maybe they were in a trial period plan, they have that agreement, and then they received a denial after the fact that was incorrect, or something along those lines. Maybe they had fallen behind on their mortgage, were able to come up with the money to reinstate it, and then a different amount appeared, and they had to come up with a different amount. So these are the types of things that will be likely to be compensated. Nobody knows for sure what compensation will be. It'll be determined case by case. And the documentation trail that people have that will show that
make a big difference.
In an agreement, yet a foreclosure was filed, now there's attorney's fees that had to be paid for that legal process that maybe they shouldn't have been incurred to begin with because they were executing that agreement.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be a lot of paperwork, but it certainly can save people some money, so it's a worthy thing to do. Is there a deadline at all?
They must get that in before April 30th. There's a deadline, there's no extensions proposed on that, so they must get the information in and be as thorough as possible before April 30th, 2012. It's a very short window.
Yeah, okay, and what kind of response have you seen so far at Access?
Well, we've only been able to work on our existing case files, so I haven't seen more than 10 to 12 that have come through our division. I know there's more of them out there because we have gotten some calls, but it's actually the www.independentforeclosurereview.com where people will find the most information. That's where we direct them. And then if they call their toll-free number that they provided, they can get more information there. But there's a pretty extensive, frequently asked question listing on that website to help address the many variables that are associated with this.
Perfect. Karen, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about it.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.